Hey guys, Mike in the Woods here. The first Cybertruck deliveries will hopefully start happening in about a year from now, and I am excited to finally start using mine for some crazy outdoors adventures. Backcountry camping, overlanding, that sort of thing. When I get mine, you can be sure that I'm going to use and abuse it for the channel, so make sure you sound off in the comments as to what kind of crazy stuff you want to see me get up to with it. And today in particular, I just wanted to take a look at 5 fun outdoors adventures that you can take it on where it offers a unique benefit. The goal is to get those gears turning and hopefully spark some ideas for you. Number 5. Road trips. The fundamental, quintessential adventure with a vehicle, cross-country road tripping. This can be as simple as going from one state or province to another, or as crazy as traveling across the entire country. Tesla's supercharger network is laid out specifically for this sort of thing along the major highways so that you can charge up and get back on the road without having to deviate too far from the main highway arteries. While time spent charging will cut into your overall time spent on the road, once Tesla's full self-driving capability is released to the public, on track for 2021 currently, you'll be able to make up for lost time by letting the truck continue to drive while you sleep. Technologically speaking, we're a lot closer to this than you probably realize. It's the laws and regulations that will likely take a few years to change as Tesla's full self-driving capability becomes more and more reliable while unsupervised. You get a lot of options for how to spend your nights on these road trips. You can do cheap hostels and motels, luxury hotels, sleeping in your truck, or camping out at RV camp spots where you can charge up your truck overnight and have a full charge by morning. Being a Canuck, when I get my Cybertruck, I was thinking about doing a complete coast-to-coast loop of a road trip where I hit all of Canada's provinces and territories, including ones I'd have to ferry over to. Let me know in the comments if this is something you'd want to see. Number 4, overlanding. Unlike road tripping, which focuses on main highway arteries from getting from point A to point B, overlanding is all about the most rugged backcountry travel you can come up with. Off-road road tripping, essentially. You have to be careful, as obviously charging stations for your truck are few and far between in rural areas, but you do have an ace in the hole in the form of being able to charge with solar. I plan on building a large fold-out solar array for emergency/backcountry charging of my truck while taking 0 days, with the goal of being able to fully charge an empty battery to full over the course of just a few days in optimal sunlight conditions. I'm thinking along the lines of panels attached to a soft and rugged mat that can be folded up and kept in a big bin when not in use. I've made a whole video about the topic of the Cybertruck being able to go overlanding, so check that out at the top of the screen if you want to go more in depth, but the TLDR is that the Cybertruck has a few things going for it that make it good for backcountry off-roading. It's got a high approach angle and ground clearance, it's got a low center of gravity, it's got instant torque, it's got an armored tonneau cover, and it doubles as a gigantic battery bank for charging and powering tools. I definitely plan on dipping my toes into the world of overlanding with my Cybertruck, so be sure to leave me some ideas down below. Number 3, front country camping. Okay, so let's flip the audience here for a minute and talk about the more casual side of camping, drive-up camping, sometimes called front country camping. With drive-up camping, depending on if it's just you and your significant other or a whole family, you have several options for how you want to camp. You can be lazy and just sleep in the cab, you can set up a truck bed tent, you can set up a tent in the actual campsite, or you can just sleep in the bed of the truck with the ability to close the tonneau cover for shelter if needed. But that's not the best part. Because your truck will be electric, if you pull up to an RV campsite, or even just a regular campsite that has 110 volt power available, you could charge your truck overnight. Even off just the 110 volt, you can add some considerable mileage if you leave it plugged in overnight. Having a full charge after even just a day or two can be really useful, especially if you're in a rush and need to delta out of your campsite first thing in the morning. And even if you opt for a non-powered campsite, you still have a giant battery bank parked at camp to keep all your electronics charged and any power tools you might have powered. Personally, I've mostly shied away from filming any casual camping trips I go on nowadays, as they don't exactly make for riveting entertainment, but maybe I'll do 1 or 2 with the Cybertruck just to give you an idea of what it's like from experience. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. Number 2, backcountry camping. Now, one common and honestly valid criticism of electric vehicles is that in rural areas, the charging infrastructure is still limited or in some cases, outright missing, especially when you travel to the far reaches of Crown Land in northern Ontario, for instance. Range anxiety is a thing. Like I mentioned earlier, the ace in the hole is the ability to charge your truck anywhere, anytime, during the day, with the power of solar. The The Cybertruck will come with the option of having solar panels on the truck bed tonneau, which can passively add a bit more range as you drive, or slowly charge up your truck while you're stationed at camp for a few days. And if you do what I plan to do, which is build out a large fold-out solar panel array, you can vastly decrease the time it would take to recharge your truck to full, with my goal of making it only a couple days to charge from empty to full in optimal sun conditions. This is a great way to overcome range anxiety in very rural areas, and a good way to make sure you're all charged up with enough range to get back to civilization once you pack up and leave camp. The only caveat to this would be that you need to find a camp spot with open areas for you to lay out this charging mat. I am definitely going to do some experimentation on this with this truck, so make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with that. Number 1, canoe, kayak, and ATV trips. So, on the canoe and kayak front, the Cybertruck doesn't really offer anything unique for these types of trips themselves, but ATVs, you get the option of Tesla's own electric ATV as a package option with the Cybertruck, which can charge off the Cybertruck itself, or presumably, independently at any charger you could charge a normal Tesla at. Where the unique advantage of the Cybertruck comes in, we land back at the topic of the full self-driving capability. Once it's proven reliable enough, and the laws change of course, you won't be limited to just in and out or loop type trips where you're forced to come back to your starting point. You'll be able to canoe, kayak, ATV, cycle, pack raft, backpack, or any other crazy backcountry adventure you can think of, and end up somewhere completely different, then just summon your truck to meet you at your final destination. And guys, I really cannot emphasize this enough, we are a lot closer to that being a reality than you probably realize if you don't follow Tesla. It's not a matter of if it can do this, but how reliable it has to be before it's allowed to do it legally without a driver behind the wheel. As with the other adventures on this list, you can bet I'll be at the forefront of this, trying these sorts of things out as soon as I'm legally able. So that's it, pretty simple, nothing revolutionary, just wanted to give you 5 adventures you can do with this Cybertruck that have a unique benefit. Road trips, overlanding, front country camping, backcountry camping, and canoe/kayak/ATV trips. As of this video, the first deliveries are approximately a year away, and I'm absolutely stoked to get my hands on mine and do everything mentioned on this list. Like I said, I'm open to ideas about the sorts of things you want to see me do with it, and the environments you want to see me have it in, so go nuts in the comments section. I'll leave a link to a playlist of all my other Cybertruck videos in the description, so check that out if you find yourself intrigued. I'll also have a Tesla referral link down there if you happen to be in the market for a Tesla anyways, and we'll both get some free supercharging out of the deal. If you're new to the channel, I take a look at how fun, futuristic technology can intersect with traditional outdoors experiences, backpacking with an electric skateboard, 3D printed tools, and of course, the Cybertruck. Check out my other videos and consider subscribing if that's your thing. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next video.